Alright, I'm going to do an iPhone 6s Plus connector today, hopefully with just hot air. I think that is probably the best method to do it. Let me get everything situated first. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to remove this black stuff surrounding it, because what happens is, I think this is okay actually. These are just data filters, but sometimes these components they kind of heat up below it, and then they start popping out, and then you'll get like cold joints and stuff like that, and then you'll be like, why doesn't this work? And then you'll realize 2 hours later that there's a cold joint under one of these little black things. So I'm gonna scrape it all off first, preempt all this crap, and so I'm at 159 degrees Celsius. Probably need to go a little hotter actually, but this will be okay. I think this is generally sufficient because I'm gonna cover it up anyways. It's not gonna be a big deal. But I really don't want to cause any more. I really don't want to spend any more time on this than I absolutely have to. So better spend a few minutes taking all this stuff off first. Is it even coming out? Because I'm having a hard time removing this stuff. Try not to scrape up the copper below it. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of clean up a little bit of everything that I see here, just so that. The other thing is, you might have to touch up some of that part right there, and you don't want that black goop hindering it at all. So, as you can see, the backlight's jacked up too, so I'll have to replace that. So let's just do it all here. If I don't do it now, I'm going to have to do it later probably, and it may cause little problems later. So that is that. I'm going to get my pick here. Let's see if we can just. So if you're at the right temperature, you don't really have to worry about burning anything because it's not hot enough to melt the connector. So I'm at 159 degrees Celsius. And I'm just going to kind of clear this stuff up a little bit. As fast as I can. It looks like a diode there, so you don't really want to jack that up. Glass diode. Alright, I think we're good. So, clean up my tweezers here. Get a little bit of IPA. And just start wiping it off the board. Not too worried about how dirty it is because I'm going to have to go back here and redo it anyway, so no bigs. Should probably use clean Q-tips, shouldn't I? Oh, where did you go? Alright. Alright, let's do it. So, let's see, just hot air. I'm gonna burn it. Let's put some Kapton on it. think that's probably the best idea. I mean, I don't really need to put Kapton over it, but I just like to do it just as a precaution. Alright, so I'm going to turn my heat up to, I'm at 375 degrees, but I'm actually going to turn it, I'm going to use 343 and 6. Alright? And if you really want, you can probably use some low melt, but I'm not going to do that. Is this thing blowing? Ooh, that's hot. Alright, it's blowing. I'm going to go up my airflow. 13. So the idea is to melt the solder, but not the connector. I mean, taking it off is not a big deal, but putting it back on, that's when you don't really want to melt the connector, you know. I mean, this you can melt it a little bit, but you can kind of get an idea of when it melts and when it doesn't melt, you know. Just make sure that you're not burning the other stuff up too, you know. Dang, it's not. Alright, let me do this. There you go. You don't really want to rip the pads, but so you want to make sure you get it hot enough before you start lifting here. So this one I don't really care about because this one's going to go bye-bye, so there you go. Good to go. Get going. Clean this up a little bit. Make sure this is not burnt. It might be a little burnt, but it's going to be alright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off all the old lead-free solder. And then wick it. I'm going to wick it all off, and then I'm going to put some lead solder back on there. And that'll make it the melting temperature just a little bit lower, so that it'll be a little bit easier to use hot air to get it back on there. Alright? Got a little bit of a bridge there, so I'm going to try to see if I can fix it now. There it goes. Alright. So let me zoom in a little bit now to so you guys can see a little bit better. Alright, so let's get our wick and we will wick it. Wick it real good. So I have some of this wick here, and I can't find the stuff that I used to use. Where's my wick at? There it is. Let's see if you guys can see it. It's Super Wick MG Chemicals, and the stuff that I used to use was 0.025 inches, but these are 0.03 inches. When you're micro soldering, I mean, that fraction of an inch really matters, so I don't like this one as much, needless to say, but it'll still work. So if I can get it out. So I really need to change my tips here. It's turning out to be just a little bit. Now I gotta line my tips. Alright. I got some better tips now. So that's how I like wicking it right there. And every ground pad's gonna be at least a little bit harder to wick for some reason. Alright. Oh, I lost the pad, dagger. You know what? I think those were lost before. So let's take a look at ZXW and see where they lead before I start. Alright, so looks like this pad and this pad are both torn. So let's take a look at it real quick and let's run some jumpers before we start, I think. But I think that's it. So it's not horrible. I think these pads were ripped before when I got them, so I don't think I did them. Alright, so it's gonna be the last one and the last one there. Okay. So this one and this one. So let's run jumpers first, and then I think we'll heat after. I think that's probably the better idea. So, okay. Let's get my jumpers out. I think I'm going to probably use lead. Dang it. I'm going to use lead-free solder because that way when I heat it up I'll have a better success rate here. Hopefully. of this thing not moving. So this is lead-free solder. Alright. I really hope that's gonna be okay, because I really don't want to have to. Well, I guess I can touch this up later. It's not a big deal. That should be sufficient. This one goes to here. Alright, so that's that. I think I might just leave that there for now. Yeah, I think I might just leave it there, and then I'll break it off later when I'm done with everything. Alright, so let's tin everything, and I'm gonna use a different tip for tinning. So I'm gonna go with leaded solder here. That way I can use hot air and I'll be able to get it on, hopefully. Hopefully. I'm gonna do it individually, and I want to be I don't want to be stingy with the solder here, because I'm gonna need a lot of solder to get these suckers on. Just make sure there's no bridges. And again, the ground pads are just gonna be a little bit harder. Just remember that. Ample solder. I should probably be careful around the ground pads. Otherwise, this will happen. Alright. Okay, let me pause it, and I'll get my connector out. Alright, so I might have to do this a few times because I've never done it with just hot air before. But alright, so zoom out as much as possible. And we just have to be careful now, okay? So, hot air, ample flux. And, I mean, this is just going to be a very, very delicate thing right here. I think maybe, you know what, last time, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to anchor the ends here real quick. Put some more flux on real quick. Probably can't have enough flux here. Okay, so let me just anchor the ends here if I can. And then all I have to do is just kind of melt it later. Okay. Right? Uno. Right? 2, 3, 4. Should probably get a little bit of solder on my tip here. Just a little bit so that it'll flow down to the bottom. I'm really just trying to anchor it because when I use the hot air, that's when I really want it to settle down. Because it won't be tight if I don't do that. Okay, let's see. Let me get a little bit more clean tip here. Tip is dying here. This tip is almost dead. Alright, I think that should be good enough. Okay, so let's use heat now and let's melt this mother and hopefully it works. Just be careful with where you're aiming your hot air gun. And then just let it kind of sit into place. You'll see it. You don't want to burn a connector too, but you know these connectors take a little bit to burn, so I mean you should be in pretty good shape. This is kind of bothering me right here. I think this is a little bit too far because it's kind of like blocking the airflow here a little bit. Fuck it. So let's see if we can get this in first, and then we'll heat the other. And hopefully I don't burn that part. Alright, so that just kind of settled down. You see it? I don't know if you saw it or not, but it kind of settled down just a little bit. Now I'm going to do this a little bit more. And you should be able to wiggle it just a little bit. Yeah, I hope that's good. So let's take a look now. I know it wiggled just a little bit. Alright. Let's take a look, see how solid it is. I hope that didn't really jack up. Okay, so that I need to redo right there. That's not even connected at all. See, these are all really solid. That's solid right there. Solid. These are all really solid, actually. So basically, you just kind of push on it, see if the pin moves at all or not. And if you want, you can touch it up. Okay. No, this one kind of moves a little bit. You see it? So that's gonna need to be touched up. So I think what happened was that these ground pins here were pushed up a little bit. And this is what happened last time too. See, none of these are soldered on here. So I think next time I need to decrease the amount of solder on this side, basically. And so what do I do now? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Do I need to? No. I think I'm gonna do it by hand. Unfortunately. So next time, put little or no solder on the ground pads. I think that's probably better. I think that's what happened last time too. Alright, so I'm going to use a 0.1 millimeter tip here. I mean, that's about the smallest it gets there. And as you see, it's still going to be a pretty tight fit. And I'm actually going to push down on the pin. So if you don't have one of these suckers, man, it's going to be really hard for you to get. If you don't have a 0.1 millimeter tip, God. .1 millimeter tip and steady hands. That's pretty much what you need. So yeah, if you don't have a 0.1 millimeter, forget about it. Just call it a day, because this in itself is pretty hard. What I've learned about these 0.1 millimeter JBC tips is they go dull pretty fast, so you definitely want to use them sparingly. Alright, so let's double check it now, see if everything's good. I still need to do the end post there. Alright, let's test them. Alright, it all looks pretty good. Yep, they're all good. That one's loose. So the second one, and that's really about it. And then I just need to do these end ones here with the jumper. Alright. Good luck, sir. Alright, let's see if I can get this without. And then this side. Alright, so alright, and then alright, I think, oh man, I think we're good, hopefully. So let me just double check the continuity first of these two jump pins. Okay, this one good. Too good. Make sure not grounded. We are good. So I hope there's no other problems with this thing, because if you know, like, there's some other problems with these things, and I just hope that you know, fixing the digitizer and the backlight will fix everything. Otherwise, we're gonna be in trouble, because this will be a lot of wasted time here working on something that might be shorted too, actually. It's not good. How did that get? Sucks, man. It's supposed to be grounded. It says it's not grounded, so I don't know how that's possible. I just don't really trust that, so that's why I want to get it out. Because that looks like it's grounded. There it goes. Alright, I think that's fine. So let's fix the backlight now. And hopefully that is the end of it. Yep, I think my tip is cooked. Oh, tip is these tips just go bad so bad so fast. Sucks. Good news is I'm probably not gonna have to jump it. So sucks. Spinner tip or just screw too? Damn, it's 2 tips. That's going bye bye. Alright, let me just get my thing out first. My filter. And I hope it's just that there's nothing else wrong. I'll probably just put some green stuff on this after I'm done. But I need to get a new tip out real quick first, because this tip is done. And I hope I don't have to run a long jumper, because that will be a pain in the arse. Why am I complaining so much? Because it is late. It is 9 o'clock at night, and I've been working all day, and I'm ready to call it a day, but not until this is done. So I think this tip is probably just a little bit too big. This is a point. It's got to be 0.5. Because I think the other one I was using was 0.3. I mean, I guess you don't really even need a jumper here, but I'm gonna do it. You probably could just put a blob of solder over it. And it looks like that pad is still there, so I shouldn't have to run a long jumper. But this looks like it's gonna pop out. Alright, so that's good. So now let's just do some continuity checks here. Okay, so backlight is the third pin, so go to ground, continuity. It's not shorted, that's 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 not shorted. Now let's make sure this goes to there, and then I believe this anode connection is this one. Is it this one? Oh, it's this one. Okay, that's busted too. Dang it. Alright, so we'll need to fix that one too. Alright, let's do it. So on the 6S, I mean, both anode lines almost always blow, and usually they'll take out the pads, and usually you'll have to run long jumpers on them. So to me, that's considered a backlight system repair when I have to run jumpers, take the shield off, run jumpers and stuff like that. Alright, I need to change my tips again. Wish I had a little more room in my workstation, because playing about everything today. That's gonna go bye-bye. There, and then I'm gonna use one of my shitty tips to clean it. These are where'd the pads go? The hell? Oh, I might clean up the wrong damn space. And I just ripped that. Oh, dagger. That's what I get for using a shitty tip. Alright, I gotta put this little cap back here. And then looks like I'm gonna have to run a jumper, or you know what? That might work right there. Well, let's see if I can attach it on there. But let's put this cap back first. That's good. Let me just tin that pad just a little bit more first, just because I have something there. Wish I didn't tear that pad. That would make my life a little bit easier. And this tip is too big. This tip is too big. We need to get a smaller tip. Why am I using these shitty tips? Let's see if I can tim the other one too. I don't think I can. I'm gonna have to run a jumper from here, I think. So let's clean it up, and then we'll put some green stuff on there, I think. Do I need green stuff? Okay, let me get my filter out. I will solder one end, and then I will see what I can do with the other end. Alright. So that side is good. Then I just need to run a little jumper from here to there. From here to here. Hey, let's see. You know what? I'm just going to do it with some jumper wire that is shielded. So I'm just a little bit lazy. Alright, so this is shielded stuff. What I'll do is, I'll check for shorts and stuff like that, and then I'll put some green stuff on there. Seal it all up. This ain't working. Just trying to get a nice shiny joint, and then we will call it a day. Alright, I need to change my tip again because this tip sucks. It's driving me crazy. There it goes. Alright, I am happy with that joint. So hopefully this... Okay, does that break? Alright, I think we're good there. Clean it up. Alright. Alright, let's check for a short. Ah, it's anode line. Okay, so make sure there's continuity. It's good. Continuity. Not grounded. Not grounded. Okay, that's grounded. Let's make sure this is not grounded. This is not cathode line's not grounded. Make sure these two are not shorted. And then let's just make sure I have them right. Okay, it's the XW tools. Third pin goes to that, which goes to the filter. And we are good. So let's test everything, make sure it's good to go. Alright, so that's the final result. Fix connector and fix the two backlight circuits. Alright. Alright, we have a problem. Haven't done anything yet. I just did some diode testing, and what I almost always do is I just check the first 6 pins generally, And so basically, you just put your multimeter in diode mode, checked first 6 modes. This is OL. This is a power negative, so you gotta swap the leads. 0.63, that's fine. 0.64, OL. 6.3, 6.4. Okay, so these 2 pins are bad, and that filter looks bad. And I think let me just go to continuity mode here. No beep. No beep. All right, so we need to fix 2 filters here. Definitely need to drink after this. Gosh, how do you even jack this up so bad? Huh? How do you jack it up so bad? How is that even possible? Okay, we are, I think, nearing completion here. I didn't intend for this to be a marathon, but I need to take a little while. I figured it'd be just a little bit faster with the doing it with hot air, which it was, but you know, almost always you have other things that blow. So we are good there. Now I just need to get my filters back out. Let's see what filters they are. So these are just, this one's a backlight filter. So they're both backlight filters, so that's easy. Alright. I need to fix, there's a bridge down there I see, which I need to fix. But that will be secondary. Well, I'll take 2 seconds. Alright, so let's do diode mode again. Let's do diode mode again, and let's check it. Make sure we're getting a reading here. Nope, still nothing. Come on. There you go. Now we're getting some. Okay, 4th one. We are getting some. Perfect. Alright, now, so one last thing to do, which is to fix that bridge. Alright, 0.1 millimeter tip. Yep. Alright, let's get some wick up in there. See if we want to wick it away. Alright, I think we're good. Finally. Alright, so the stupid thing works, but there is a partial backlight failure here. So, we will need to go back and investigate. Alright, so I suspect that it's probably this top one right here. I suspect that it's probably this one right here, and it needs a long jumper to the big cap down there. So I'm just going to leave the screen off, and generally you normally have to test the backlight with the screen on. But I should be able to get, if I'm getting 4 volts here, so if I'm getting 4 volts here, so I just powered it on. If I get 4 volts here, then I'm good. Oh, I am getting 4 volts there actually. So let's check this one then. Maybe it's 4 volts there too. Weird. Okay. So it's not a long jumper problem. For some reason the boosted voltage is not showing up. So let me disconnect. And let me find out why the boosted voltage is not connected. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this tape here. And I'm going to measure the 2 test points with the screen on. You know what? I'm thinking if I'm getting 4 volts, it's not a back. I think it's probably just a connector problem. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting, because it was a little bit hard to push down. So sometimes maybe it's not making connector connection. If that makes any sense. So it didn't really click. That's my thing. So let's try it again. Alright, so I'm gonna boot it up again, and while it's booting up, okay, so while it's booting up, I'm gonna measure the voltages of the 2 backlight anode connections lines, which is, since I've done this so many times already, which is this one. So that's 1 volt, 15 volts. So this is 1 volt. So that's not right. It's not right at all. But so let's find out which circuit this is right here. So this is 1 volt, which is the top one. So, but I was just getting 4 volts with the screen disconnected. So it's weird. Check it one more time. So maybe I do have to run a long jumper. Okay. Yep, 1 volt. Alright. So I'm gonna desolder the shield and double check, find out what the hell is going on now. Hopefully it's not a coil or something like that, because then I'm really screwed. I'm definitely not gonna get to bed. Alright, so I'm just going to measure continuity from here to there. Sometimes the pads get, so this is the big cap right here, big backlight cap, and I'm going to measure it from here all the way to this right here, and it should beep. But it doesn't beep. So that is our problem, really. So I just need to, well, yeah, it's low resistance. So sometimes the pads blow, and then you don't get connectivity from here to here. So that's what it is. So let's do that. It's gonna be another little bit of a show. This thing just never ends, does it? And I just pray that everything else after this is good. Just want to tin the tip here and make sure I get that, because this is shielded. Alright. Let's do it. Okay, looks good. Now all we gotta do is route it. And what I like to do is I just like to route it away from all the connectors so that it doesn't break again. So I will do that. Then I'll put some stuff on there to hold it down. Like, you can put some, if you really want, you can put some Kapton tape down here. Just to hold it tight. Temporarily. Alright, let me let me just double check again. A little blurry. Alright, so big cap down here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Here. Beeps. Then I'm gonna go third pin to here. Okay. And then I just want to make sure that's not grounded. Otherwise, kapoof. Alright, so we should be good now. We should get full backlight. If we don't, I'm gonna shoot somebody. No, I won't, but alright, time to go to bed, yo. Look at that right there. Full backlight. Touch is gonna work. I'll show you. I might as well finish this video, right? So let's see. Touch works. Touch works. Okay, so all is good. Backlight's good. Touch is good. Calling this a day. How long did that take? About hour and 20 minutes? Alright. Good day. And now, a word from our sponsor. Thanks for watching our video. I just wanted to kind of go over 2 courses that we have available on udemy.com right now. If you go to microsoldering.com, click on Learn, and then Getting Started, you'll see that we have 2 courses available. The first one is iPhone logic board repair, the basics, and in this course we go over the basic building blocks of logic board to the tools and equipment necessary to the basic fault finding and troubleshooting. This course is mainly for people looking to get started in micro soldering. It goes over all the components and basic troubleshooting tips and stuff like that. So you can just go to the website and click on the link, and it'll bring you to the Udemy page to buy the course. And the second course goes over, which I wrote part of. It goes over how to troubleshoot problems, and in this course we go over the 3 most common iPhone repair problems, which is no backlight, touch IC disease, and charging problems. And we go over in detail exactly how to troubleshoot and fix these things. So if interested, please visit the website microsoldering.com, and you can get some more information from there. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.